I'm Ben, and this is my 2019 Commencal Meta HT. All right, we're gonna work from the bottom to the top, just like Drake. Okay, starting with tires. This bike comes with 2.6 tires, which was another reason why I got it. Gives you a little bit more cushion and a little bit more grip. So on the front, I'm running a Maxxis Minion DHF with the EXO casing, 2.6. I'm running it tubeless, and I have the Huck Norris in it. On the rear, I was originally running a Minion DHF with the Huck Norris in it, but I kept getting sidewall slices even with the Huck Norris, because Maxxis does not make a 2.6 tire with a downhill casing. So what I ended up doing was getting a specialized Butcher 2.6 with the black diamond casing, and I have a Huck Norris in it, and it's been perfect. I've had zero issues, zero leaks, zero slices, zero flats whatsoever, and I've thrown some shit at this thing. All right, rims. So kind of a long story of rims. The stock rims that come on this are actually pretty good, and the hubs are pretty good. I'm not gonna get into why I changed mine. It's just long story, but anyways, the stock rings that come on these with the Essential build have a 35 mil internal width, which is pretty kick-ass, and the hubs that come on them are Formula hubs, which are not amazing, but usually they're pretty good. I had some issues with mine, hence why I switched them out, but in general, Formula hubs work fine. So I'm running Sunringle rims. They are the 36 millimeter internal width, and yeah, like they work pretty good. I have them both front and rear, and I've had zero issues thus far. The cassette, so I've switched out my cassette. If I were to redo it, I probably honestly would just leave the stock cassette on it, which I think is maybe like 11-42, and now I am rocking an 11-48 Sunrace. Works fantastic, but definitely not necessary in my eyes. The front is just your standard 32 tooth that comes on it. Works out great. Cranks are NX cranks. They work fantastic. Pedals. The pedals I'm using are the Crank Brothers stamps. Yes, I always run flats. I'm a huge flats fan, but I like a huge platform for my feet, especially on a hardtail. These are the stamp, I believe, stamp 3s. So the 7s are their fancy ones. They're a little bit skinnier, maybe a little bit more durable, but they're pretty expensive. These were pretty cheap. These were like 80 bucks Canadian or 85 bucks Canadian. So, and they've been perfect. They're super grippy, but not too grippy to where if I want to adjust my foot on it, that my foot gets stuck. I find with like things like Atlas or the one-up pedals, amazing grip on those, but sometimes if you're in the middle of a run, especially if you're racing and your foot's stuck sideways, you have a hard time maneuvering that foot to reposition. So I love these pedals, highly recommend them. This is the large platform. Yeah, fork, as I went over before, this is the RockShox Yari. 160 mil of travel. I may get this bumped up to 170, but once again, it's probably not really needed. It's been fantastic. I typically run no compression dampening on this. I have 2 volume spacers inside, and I run probably 5 clicks a rebound. So yeah, that's pretty much all about that. Brakes. So brakes, I'm just running the stock brakes that come on this bike. Some people make fun of me for it, but you know what, they've been totally fine. And that's the SRAM level brakes, both front and rear. They do come with a 200 millimeter front rotor and 180 millimeter rear rotor. So that's pretty darn good for a hardtail. The only modification I made with these are they come stock with organic pads. I changed both the front and rears out for metallic. It's just personal preference. I like that. I find they have good grip, good bite. And like I said, I've had this thing at bike parks, you know, Virgin, Utah, and the brakes have been fine. So despite what some people may want to say, the brakes have been totally fine. All right, so I am running a dropper post on this bad boy. It's the 1-Up dropper post, 170 mil travel, pretty bomb proof. Customer service is great, pretty straightforward. It's gas charged. There's a little nipple up here. If you want to adjust the pressure, make it more aggressive, you can add a little bit more pressure underneath the seat. Obviously internally cable rooted, and lever up here. Level's kind of, the lever's kind of chintzy. It's plastic, but whatever does the trick. And if it breaks, you can go on Amazon and buy like an aluminum one for, I don't know, 20 bucks. So not that big of a deal. All right, so my bars. Bars are another thing I changed. Just because I knew I was going to be riding park and some pretty aggressive stuff in Utah. I just went with the FU40. So stock, these come with a bar that I believe are 780 wide, and they already have a 30 mil rise. So that's pretty aggressive already, especially for a hardtail. So there's probably no need to change it. Honestly, if I were to redo it, I probably wouldn't even bother. I don't regret putting these on, but once again, not necessary. These are 40 millimeter rise and 780 width. Fantastic bar, but once again, not necessary. So my grips are, I believe Brendan Fairclaw Death Grips. These things have been good. I get gummy ones. A lot of times I wear no gloves. I like to go bare hand. So these have been pretty good. They're gentle to my hands, but they do wear out pretty quick. But yeah, they've been okay. No complaints there. Quick tip for you guys, if you want to have a hella clean cockpit on any bike, I do this on every bike I own, is I just use electrical tape and I wrap my cables with electrical tape all the way around. And this helps keep your cables from rattling. Okay, stem is stock. It's a it's a 40 mil, I believe, and it's had no issues at all. So yeah. All right, gang. So just one last thing. This is a size large. I am 6'2", about 195 pounds. I could fit an XL or a large. I like my bikes a little bit more on the playful side, so I went with a large, and I do not regret it whatsoever. I've had Da Vinci Spartan, I've had 2018 Nomad, I've had a Transition Patrol, I've had an Evil Reckoning, and believe it or not, this is probably my favorite and most fun bike I've ever owned. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you want to see any content of this thing slaying bike park or up at the old Rampage site, check out the videos below. That was a quick look at my Commencal Meta HT 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, this is probably my most favorite bike I've owned to date, and yet it's the most simple. So it just goes to show you that you don't need to spend, you know, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 on a bike to have it be awesome. This was just above an entry-level build with minimal modifications, and I'm able to hit whatever, whenever with it. If you want to see this thing hit some of the trails in Virgin, Utah, or if you want to see this thing slay some bike park in, say, Whistler, or the super rowdy bike park of Bootleg Canyon in Boulder, Nevada, Check out some of the videos below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for some more content.